Stpatrick's Day by Alfred H Miles. Here's to the Isle of the Shamrock, here's a good English hurrah, luck to the Celt upon copy or veld, Erin Mavernin Gabrag. The shamrock, the rose and the thistle, the shamrock, the rose and the leek, one where the bayonets bristle, one when there's duty to seek. Each has a need of each other, linked on the shore and the wave, all for the sake of one mother, honor the brave. Here's to the boys of the shamrock, here's to the gallant and gay, bearing the flag upon donga or crag, blithely as children at play. The shamrock, the leek and the thistle, the shamrock, the leek and the rose, one though the bullets may whistle, one in a red grave's repose. Each has a need of his fellows, sharing the glory or grave, each the same destiny mellows, honor the brave. Here's to the girls of the shamrock, here's to the glamour and grace, laughing on all, in hovel and hall, ever from Erin's young face. The shamrock, the rose and the thistle, the shamrock, the rose and the leek, one in the face of a missile, one when the batteries speak. Each of himself is delighted to succor the serf or the slave, and who can deny them united, honor the brave. Here's to the wit of the shamrock, here's to the favored and free, giving us store of that magical lore learnt but at nature's own knee. The shamrock, the leek and the thistle, the shamrock, the leek and the rose, one when fame writes her epistle, one where dread dangers enclose. Each for the others asks only, ever to succor and save, each without all must be lonely, honor the brave. Here's to the day of the shamrock, here's to the emblem of youth, wear it we will on our bosoms, and still deeper in heart and in truth. The shamrock, the rose and the thistle, the shamrock, the rose and the leek, one where grim batteries bristle, one when there's pleasure to seek. Each on each other relying, trusts, nor for better would rave, each for all, living and dying, honor the brave. Here's to the reign of the shamrock, here's to the welfare of all, bearing its light through the feast and the fight, ever at liberty's call. The shamrock, the leek and the thistle, the shamrock, the leek and the rose, one where the death arrows whistle, one where hilarity flows. Each from the bog or the heather gives all a brother may crave, ploughland and city together, honor the brave.